Good morning, guys. Happy Sunday morning as the sun's starting to come up here in East Tennessee. We hear a lot of different things. We all remember some of these. It's a new day. Any of the taglines that potential wannabe presidents use. And this year's going to be no different. The cast of characters we're going to have to choose from is going to be quite interesting this year. You've got some of the has-beens, also-rans, never-weres, yada do, that are talking about running. I mean, Amy Klobuchar, Bernie Sanders, or Ted Cruz. Okay, they've had their day in the sun. People didn't want them, and we moved on. You have the wannabes, Mike Pence. Yeah, you got a chance in hell. Okay, AOC, Stacey Abrams, right? Yeah. Right. Stacey Abrams never won an election anywhere in her life, but she's going to run for president. Talk about the ultimate grifter. But there was one that announced this week, Robert F. Kennedy, okay, that he's going to be a real problem, if you will, for the Democrat establishment. Is he the Democrats' version of Trump? Okay. Trump came in 2016, completely turned the party on its ear, was pretty much anti-establishment, did excellent things, no problem. I mean, his administration probably, the policies he administered, I'd say were easily the best in my lifetime. That includes Reagan, okay? And you could go back and say, comparatively to the history of presidents, he's in the top 5 of best of all time. Robert F. Kennedy, as a Democrat, okay, and mind you, he's Bobby Kennedy's son or Bobby Kennedy's nephew, one of the two, but JFK's nephew. So he's going to be the Trump to Biden. How do I want to put this? He's going to be the disruptor to Biden. Let's put it this way. Marianne Williamson is a joke. Okay, her heart's in the right place. Her brain isn't. Okay. Biden, his heart and his brain aren't in the right place. That's pretty much how that one goes. RFK is interesting because the establishment isn't necessarily going to support him, okay? And we'll see very quickly how the Democrat machine works to push him off to the side, if you know what I mean, in the primaries. Because remember, RFK from the beginning has been anti-this, anti-lockdown. In that respect, he had a lot more conservative, I'd say, ideas. Now, what we haven't heard from him yet are his thoughts on reparations, the southern border, CRT, the mental illness problem we have in the United States with transgenderism. We haven't heard much on the war in Ukraine. I mean, those are big issues that he's going to have to tackle. You can't be a one-trick pony and run for president. Okay, you're going to have. I mean, and his feet are going to get held to the fire. They're going to ask him now that he's announced. He's going to start having to answer questions. It's not all going to be rah-rah. But if you think about this, he is a Democrat that is running very much so as a moderate, okay? Slightly left. No far left, no nothing, okay? No Bernie Sanders, no AOC. The whole squad and all that under that president would be laughed out of town, okay? Like they should be by everybody, but, RFK is certainly not a communist sympathizer like Biden, Harris, Elizabeth Warren, AOC, that whole group is. Okay. That could be a good thing. I'm not saying that I'm supporting RFK or anything like that, hardly. Okay. Uh, I'm still firmly in the Trump train. And after Cuccinelli's comment, if you know who he is, he's got this super PAC who they have now volunteered to pay Trump to move out of Florida. And some of the comments that he's made completely got me out of the DeSantis camp altogether. Okay, I won't vote for DeSantis if he decides to run under any circumstances. Again, he'd be I'll vote for Mickey Mouse first. You surround yourself with that kind of people, sorry, not happening. Okay. Then again, when you get somebody that is endorsed by Paul Ryan and Jeb Bush, that tells me a lot too. The more and more the people get a chance to vet Ron DeSantis, it seems like he's doing great things in Florida. Do not get me wrong, but he also seems to be more or less along the lines of he'd be a Mitch McConnell establishment type Republican. My opinion. Disagree with me if you like. I'm just telling you how I see it. Okay. Like I said, I'm firmly entrenched in the Trump train once again. But Kennedy's going to be an interesting twist to the whole thing because he basically has, so far from what I've heard, has nothing in common with Biden, okay, at all. Does not believe in any of the same things. Kennedy is firmly about reestablishing the middle class. Biden, of course, is about destroying the middle class. I mean, communism wants oligarchs and peasants. Okay, that's what Joe Biden's after. Kennedy wants to go back to the middle. Like I said, Kennedy's against this. Biden's got extra COVID money, and so he's starting a campaign to push the latest booster. Okay. Then you look at the other side and go, okay, well, Operation Warp Speed. Trump is still talking about you need to get your boosters and stuff like that. I mean, why his advisors haven't realized that that's a losing strategy, I don't know. That's the one big turnoff I have with Trump. But it is what it is, okay? Nobody's perfect, I get this. But here's where the issue comes in, all right? You have Trump versus DeSantis, which is MAGA versus establishment. Okay, everybody else that's running on the Republican side is a has-been, never was, will not get the nomination. They're just in it to suck out some money for 18 months and live high on the hog, get some free vacations. None of them have a chance. I don't care if it's Tim Scott, Rick Scott, Asa Hutchinson, Vivek Ramaswamy, whoever it is. They have no chance. All right, zero. They're just not going to make any inroads. Mike Pence again, right? John Bolton. Really? Let's go to more war. I mean, this will be a two-pony race. We all know that. It's DeSantis if he announces versus Trump, and really I don't see anybody stopping Trump. Okay, my thoughts. On the Democrat side, like I said, you've got the freak shows like AOC and Stacey Abrams that are rumored to announce. That's not going to, if they announce, they're going nowhere, okay? That will inevitably be a 1 to 2 horse race. Either Biden is steamrolled through and forced through like he was in 2020, or Kennedy will be involved. I mean, the rest of them, Kamala Harris, right? Okay, she didn't make it to the primaries last time. You really think people, she's increased her status with the people? No. So what you might have here is this. You might have on the left a socialist in Biden, or one at least with socialist policies, if he knows what the hell he's talking about, which he does. The puppet masters are socialists, and Joe's the puppet, versus a moderate Democrat. Then you have, on the conservative side, you have the establishment Republican versus in DeSantis versus Trump, the disruptor. And they'll say he's far right or anything like that. I don't think Trump's far right by any means, but He and DeSantis probably seem to be somewhat on the same 30-degree angle to the right. Certainly not moderate, definitely America first, both of them. But whether or not you are establishment or anti-establishment, it's kind of how it leads. It's going to be very interesting. If I see, because what's going to happen is that who wins, okay? And let's just say, for example, there are enough Democrats that don't want Biden that they go for Kennedy. I mean, not only for name, but for what he believes in. Not every Democrat out there is one of these whack job liberals. Okay, a lot of them are, but not all of them. So let's say it winds up Kennedy versus Trump, which, if I had to put money on it today, that's who I'd say the election will be. It's going to be interesting to see how that one swings, because the Republicans will vote for Trump, most of them. Some are going to be anti-Trump. The Democrats will vote for Kennedy. The liberals will probably sit out. Okay, so that's going to deplete that base. So that really leaves the independents. And now you have two names. You have a Kennedy and a Trump. Kennedy's a political dynasty, not that Robert F. Kennedy has a big track record. And Trump is creating a dynasty, not that he has a big track record. But this would be the battle of the billionaires, if you will, for the White House. 2024 is going to get real interesting. Personally, if it's Kennedy versus Trump, either one of them winning would be better than what we have now. But then again, if it was Mickey Mouse versus Donald Duck, either one of them winning would be better than what we have now.